No one expected Ronald D. Moore, the creator of Outlander, the man who had always kept a respectful distance from caste-related controversies, to suddenly break years of silence about Sam Heughan. But that is exactly what happened just hours ago, and the internet has been in flames ever since. In a new interview meant to focus on the franchise's future, Moore was asked a simple question about Sam. Instead of brushing it off with his usual neutral tone, he paused, exhaled deeply, and said something that changed everything. In that single moment, the fandom felt the ground shift. Moore's expression alone was enough to send viewers on high alert. He looked reflective, almost burdened, as if he had been carrying something heavy for a long time. Then he said, "Sam has endured far more than people will ever understand." The interviewer froze. Fans watching the clip froze. It was a statement too emotional, too loaded, too revealing to be accidental. Immediately, social media erupted with questions. Endured what? Why hadn't anyone known? And why was Moore speaking up now? As the clip spread like wildfire, people began dissecting every detail. The tone of Moore's voice, the heaviness in his eyes, the hesitation before he spoke. Moore was not a man prone to melodrama. He was methodical, careful, and extremely protective of his caste. So for him to say something that raw, something that seemed to hint at a deeply personal truth about Sam, meant the situation had to be serious. Fans sensed there was a story behind the story, something Sam had kept buried for years. The internet exploded with theories within minutes. Some believed Moore was referring to the intense physical demands of playing Jamie Fraser, the long shooting hours, the extreme weather, the emotional toll of heavy storylines. Others speculated it involved private battles Sam had faced off-screen, struggles he had never shared publicly. But the most viral theory, the one dominating all fan pages, was that Moore was hinting at something Sam tried to protect the world from knowing. Adding fuel to the fire, Moore continued speaking, not vaguely, not diplomatically, but with one of the most heartfelt tones fans had ever heard from him. "People see the strength on screen," he said. "What they don't see is the weight he carries when the cameras stop." It was a line that sent chills across the fandom. Viewers replayed it over and over, trying to interpret the layers behind it. What weight, what invisible battle was Sam facing behind closed doors? More shockingly, Moore implied that Sam had gone through a particularly difficult period during the filming of one of the earlier seasons. Fans immediately began guessing which season it could be. Was it Season 1, when Sam was new to fame and under immense pressure? Season 3, when Jamie and Claire spent most of the season apart and both actors were reportedly emotionally drained? Or was it during the more recent seasons, when rumors about Sam's personal life intensified and the media scrutinized him endlessly? Then came the line that broke the fandom completely. Moore said quietly, he didn't want anyone to worry. Not even the cast. That was the moment everything changed. Fans realized Moore wasn't talking about normal actor stress or creative pressure. He was hinting at something Sam had deliberately hidden, something serious enough that he shielded even the people closest to him. Within minutes, #Sam Heughan Truth and #Ronald Moore Breaks Silence were trending worldwide. The interview didn't stop there. Moore went on to reveal that only one person on set knew the full truth about what Sam was going through at the time. He didn't say the name directly, but fans needed only a fraction of a second to jump to the same conclusion: Katrina Balfe. The idea that she had been the only one Sam trusted during that difficult period sent a shockwave through the fandom. Viewers immediately pulled up old behind-the-scenes clips showing Katrina supporting Sam during intense scenes, offering quiet reassurance, or placing a steadying hand on his shoulder when he looked emotionally drained. Meanwhile, journalists scrambled to contact Sam's representatives for comment, but they received no response. Entertainment outlets published articles within the hour, with headlines like, "Ronald D. Moore hints at Sam Heughan's hidden struggles." "What truth is Sam Heughan hiding?" Katrina Balfe reportedly knew more than anyone else. Fans were desperate for answers. What had Sam endured? Why hadn't he spoken up? And why had Moore chosen this moment, after years of silence, to finally acknowledge Sam's hidden battles? The clip concluded with Moore giving one final, cryptic line that sent the internet into total meltdown. "One day, the truth will come out. And when it does, people will see Sam in a whole new light." That sentence alone was enough to fracture the fandom into disbelief, fear, curiosity, and heartbreak. By the end of the day, one thing was certain. Whatever Sam's truth was, it was powerful enough to make Ronald D. Moore break his silence. And now the world waited, breathless, restless, emotional, for what would come next. The fallout from Ronald D. Moore's interview reached a breaking point within hours. Every major entertainment outlet demanded clarity, fans begged for answers, and even people outside the Outlander fandom became invested in the mystery surrounding Sam Heughan. Yet Sam himself remained silent. His social profiles stayed untouched, and no official statement came from his team. The silence only intensified the speculation, making people even more desperate to understand the hidden truth Moore had hinted at. Meanwhile, new insiders began to emerge, people who had worked on the series in earlier seasons. One of them claimed that Sam had gone through a period so emotionally draining that the crew worried he would collapse from exhaustion. They described long nights, missed meals, and moments when Sam looked physically present but mentally miles away. Yet he showed up to set every day, delivered powerful performances, and shielded his inner turmoil from almost everyone. The revelation stunned fans, who had always admired Sam's dedication but never imagined what it truly cost him. But what shocked fans the most was the consistent mention of one name, Katrina Balfe. According to multiple sources, she had been the only person Sam opened up to during that difficult period. She noticed things no one else did. The way his hands trembled slightly during emotional scenes, the distant look in his eyes after filming intense moments, and the forced smile he wore during press events. She confronted him gently one day, asking if he was okay. That was when Sam finally broke, quietly, privately, away from cameras and crew members. One insider described the moment vividly. Sam had tried to brush off Katrina's concern, but she persisted with the kind of emotional intuition that only someone deeply connected could have. When he finally admitted what he was struggling with, he did so in fragments, unable to say the full truth at once. Katrina listened, didn't interrupt, and didn't push. She simply stayed beside him, offering the steadiness he needed but didn't know how to ask for. Fans didn't just react, they cried. This revelation created wildfire online. People posted older interviews where Sam repeatedly praised Katrina's empathy, her strength, her ability to see through him. Fans realized those comments were more literal than anyone had assumed. In that hidden moment, Katrina wasn't just a co-star, she was Sam's anchor. And that connection, that rare emotional bond, was exactly what Ronald D. Moore had hinted at. But the story grew more intense when another insider revealed the nature of Sam's struggles. According to them, Sam had been dealing with overwhelming pressure from sudden fame during the early seasons, combined with a deeply personal issue he was determined to keep private. The weight crushed him. He didn't want to burden the cast, didn't want the media to sensationalize his vulnerability, and didn't want fans to worry. So he carried it alone, until he couldn't anymore. Moore's decision to break his silence began to make sense. He wasn't exposing Sam, he was defending him. After years of rumors, criticism, and false narratives, Moore felt it was time the world acknowledged the warrior behind the character Jamie Fraser. He wanted people to understand the humanity behind the performance, the quiet strength behind the celebrity facade. Sam wasn't hiding the truth for selfish reasons. He was hiding it because he didn't want to dim the joy Outlander brought to his fans. Then came the moment that sent shockwaves across the internet. During a follow-up interview, Moore was asked directly whether Sam's truth involved anyone else in the cast. His answer was subtle but explosive. "Some people carry someone else's pain when the world isn't looking," he said. Fans instantly connected the dots. They flood social media with theories that Sam and Katrina had weathered something enormous together, something that had shaped their bond in ways only the two of them understood. Katrina's reaction further fueled the fire. When asked about Moore's comments, she looked down, took a breath, and said softly, "Sam is stronger than people know. And sometimes strength comes from the people who stand with you." She didn't deny anything. She didn't distance herself. Her tone was emotional, trembling slightly. It was the closest she had ever come to acknowledging her role in Sam's hidden battle. Fans lost control. Many cried. Many wrote long posts thanking Katrina for being the person Sam leaned on when he needed someone most. Others replayed their emotional scenes together with new understanding, realizing the rawness wasn't just acting. It was real emotion bleeding through the screen. As the dust began to settle, one final twist emerged. A crew member who worked closely with Moore revealed that Sam had never wanted his struggle to be public, but Moore felt that the narrative surrounding him had become unfair and distorted. By breaking his silence, Moore hoped to shift the conversation, to remind people of Sam's resilience, his humanity, and the truth that he had carried alone for too long. But the biggest shock of all? Sam finally broke his silence with a single message posted late at night. "Everyone has battles. Mine made me who I am. Thank you for the kindness." The post ended with a single heart emoji. Katrina liked the post within seconds. The fandom erupted all over again. And now, with Moore's revelations out in the open, one question lingers in everyone's mind. What was the truth Sam protected so fiercely? And will he ever tell the world the whole story?